Now the 3 releases around the green that all great players know how and when to use, and it's not difficult, it's not complicated, it's not something you can't do. You know, it's safe, it's consistent, and it opens so many doors and gives you so many more options around the green. Now feel the weight of the club head in your hands and maintain consistent grip pressure right the way through the shot. This is absolutely massive. If you don't, none of the releases will work. The club head wants to work. You've got to allow it. Otherwise you'll always struggle with chipping and pitching and any shots around the green. Now the bounce and release secret that nobody seems to talk about, is it a secret? I don't know, but nobody seems to talk about it. You don't play the ball, you play the ground. And the club head and the bounce skips on the turf and glides under the ball. So look at a point behind the ball and you play that point. You play the ground and not the ball. Aim slightly left and swing out to the right, out to the target, which stabilises the whole movement. It activates the bounce and stops the leading edge from biting and digging into the ground. How you address the ball with your hands determines how much freedom you give your wrists and how much the club head will release. The higher you set your hands at address, so therefore the steeper the shaft angle, the less you'll use your wrists and the club head won't release as much. Now the lower you set your hands at address, it primes the wrists for movement and gives them more freedom and more release. Now you see this from a flop shot around the green or from the bunker. That was close, that was close. Nearly got that, baby. I never swing left and try and cut across any of these shots, unless you're going to fight to try and keep the club face open. But the club head will glance across the ball, which is very challenging to time. And that's being kind. Actually wasn't. Oh! Groin strain already. Now let's keep it nice and simple. Put your feet quite close together, stand slightly open, nice and neutral with your body weight, so body weight evenly distributed on both feet, and the ball position is inside of your left heel, just left of centre. Now release 1 is your standard chip shot, which is played around the green and gets the ball running nicely to the hole. Now with release 1 you want to get your hands in the highest position with a shaft angle similar to that of a putter at address. Now this limits the mobility of the wrists. And this also lifts the heel off the ground, which is absolutely fantastic because the heel just wants to bite and dig into the ground. And there's more bounce on the toe, and the toe skips and glides on the turf. Now the body rotation and the hand and arm movement should all work together in sync. Now a really great way to feel how this works is to grip right down the shaft to the club head. The shaft goes just above the left hip and you maintain this connection here and you turn back and you turn through, maintaining the connection back and through, and you feel how everything works together in the correct sequence. Now just to give you a reference point of the release and how much you do release, after you've hit the shot you want the butt of the club to be pointing at the front hip, at your left hip. Now just to keep you up to speed, I've got some really cool golf travels coming up in some top destinations. It'll be absolutely great to see you there. So check out my homepage for more information and I'll try and leave Superman at home. I'm not promising anything though. Now release 1 is a good rock solid shot And to be honest with you, most amateur golfers, you don't need no more. But release 2, it just opens the door. It gives you more options. If you've got no green to work with, you know, and you need to land the ball nice and softly, release 2 just adds a little bit of, you know, a little bit of finesse. And release 2, it's also a very versatile shot. You can use it from all kinds of lies. And release 2 is the shot I love to play. You know, that gives me more freedom. You know, I can hit the ball higher, lower, more spin, less spin, but it just needs a little bit of practice. Now with this shot, you want to give your wrists more freedom. So you need to drop your hands at address, which moves the turf contact to the center of the sole and bounce. With really nice soft hands, maintain this grip pressure throughout the shot and feel the weight of the club head in your hands. Now you see a little bit of cupping in your lead wrist, your left wrist through impact. Also because the club head is releasing through impact, you'll notice that the butt of the club is pointing more towards the center of your body, okay, more towards the belt buckle, but make sure everything stays connected. Your hands and arms and body, everything works together. You don't want to be flipping through impact and leaving the body behind, because that just doesn't work. Now feel the club head pass the hands through impact, but stay connected with the body rotation. So relax and let it flow, let it go, and allow the club head to do the work for you. Now release number 3 is not something you really need in your game. You know, it's like a Ferrari. You don't really need one of them, but you do, if you know what I mean. But you've got to have a decent lie. And if you need to get the ball up in the air and land it nice and softly, then release 3, that'll do the job for you. Now for release 3, you want to drop your hands for maximum wrist freedom, which moves the club head turf interaction more towards the heel area on the sole or on the bounce, which is actually the dangerous bit, the dangerous area. Through impact is when you get maximum cupping of the lead left wrist with nice soft hands, but support this with a nice turn through. So there's the 3 releases. Release 1 is your front hip, release 2 is the belt buckle or the center of your body, release 3 is your back hip. But obviously you want to match these up with the lie and the shot you want to play.
I can feel it in the air. It's getting colder, but yet so warm. Before we know it, it's Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve. This year, I'ma give me something special. It doesn't cost a dime, but it's precious. Hopes that I won't forget it, then I won't forgive him, no.
Hey, look at that. Wow. Eh, cool, eh?